Hello and a very warm welcome back to Hugh's Nursery. Today is a really important episode for you because it's all to do with how to water wisely. Now, at the moment it's early June here in Wales. I'm not quite sure when this video is going to be coming out, but what we've had is about a period of 7 days of just dry weather. It's been lovely. I've got the factor 50 on. But the problem is that some of the plants are looking a little bit sorry for themselves. So what I want to go over is how to water wisely and also some clever tips and tricks to help you out, all to do with such as retaining moisture. So the first thing you need to do when you do water is to make sure that you don't just water the surface, because this is a mistake I used to do when I was younger. I thought, oh, if the surface looks wet, then it'll all be wet underneath. But what you need to do is to use a finger method and stick your forefinger into the ground. And if you can't feel any moisture, then it desperately needs a good soaking. So what you do is get a soaker. You don't want a full blast hose, and just go over the ground, making sure that it gets a good soaking. Sometimes spending maybe 5 to 10 seconds in a single spot, making sure that all the water goes down, because vegetables require moisture and they require the water so they can grow bigger and luscious. So by watering them deeply, the roots can soak up all the water. Also, another clever method of keeping water in your soil is by digging in organic matter. So over the past couple of years, we've transitioned towards working at building better, more organic soil, which is why we prepare our raised beds in the winter by putting over layers of manure, and then we cover this with some sheeting, and then over the winter, the worms work hard at dragging the manure into the ground, and it acts almost like a sponge, which retains moisture. So when you water that soil will actually retain more moisture. So by digging in organic matter, you won't have to water it as frequently. Also, it's really important when you do water to water in the evenings, early evenings, late afternoons, whatever. Just don't water in the morning, and don't water during the day, especially during a day like this, because if you do water at the moment, a lot of it will evaporate and you'll lose a lot of water. We're fortunate enough to get our water for free from a spring up at the top field, but if you have to pay for your water, then this can be quite expensive, and you want to be as cost effective and as efficient as possible. So make sure you water in the early evening. So this is to avoid evaporation and gives it a chance overnight to soak deep into the ground. Also, one final tip to do with watering wisely is to mulch your soil. I'm making a big push on this year to use more mulch. So we're mulching a lot of the potatoes now. I'm going to be mulching a lot of beans, mulching around tomatoes. I'm really looking at how I can utilize mulch as a way to capture water and use it as water retention, because having a layer of mulch above the soil acts as an insulator, so it stops water from evaporating, and again it acts like a sponge because it is organic matter, but it's just at the top. So it acts like a sponge where it holds all the water. The water can't evaporate from the soil, which means you won't have to water as long. So if you are, say, going on a summer holiday or vacation for a couple of weeks, and you use mulch and you have high organic matter content in your soil, then you don't need to worry so much about watering. So I hope you found this video interesting, and I actually have prepared a cheat sheet for you. And on this cheat sheet, it's a PDF download which you can get down below. And it's 6 tips to do with watering wisely. So you can either make a note or print it off, so it's easy access, so you can make sure that you don't need to water as much, but when you do water, you make sure that you water wisely. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday.